Hey there, everybody. What is up today? Welcome back to the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate. I'm Rebecca Yuson, and as you know, I am passionate about helping real estate agents build huge businesses that match them, their likes, their needs, and their personalities. And I'm so excited for my guest today, someone that I met through Instagram, which is
That's
pretty
right.
cool. My newest bestie, Noell Harp. Noell, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm so glad that you are here and that we were able to pull this off on this beautiful
Yes.
day.
Yes.
So let's get right into it. So, Noell, tell us, how long have you been a licensed real estate agent?
I've been a licensed agent 2.5 years. October 11th will make 3 years exactly.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty awesome. And we love you having you part of our team. So, what are the markets that you serve?
The markets I serve are Cherokee County, Alabama, Etowah County, Alabama, and Calhoun County, Alabama. So I have three general markets. They're so close together, so it's just within, I would say, roughly an hour's drive between three counties. So I'm able to knock out three counties and serve. I do help buyers, I do help sellers, and real estate investors. I'll help anybody.
I love it. That's right. You will do it all. And I know you have
Hmm.
a really awesome mission on helping people become financially wealthy from investing in real estate, and I love that about you. That's what it's all about.
Hmm.
So, which brokerage are you with up there in Alabama?
I'm with Keller Williams.
Keller
So,
Williams. And how
hmm
did you come to find Keller Williams?
actually, I had saw an advertisement in the paper about they have every year they have an annual. It's just like a come to work, come watch me work day, and I was actually in the process of getting my license and deciding which brokerage I really wanted to go to. So I went to that event, had a great conversation with the broker, the team leads, the technology leads, and they very thorough answered my questions. After that, I had enough courage to call other brokerages and meet with them, kind of compare and contrast, and it just kind of worked out. I went back towards Keller Williams, and I've been there ever since.
Okay, something about the people in that brokerage just spoke to you, sounds
Yes,
like.
ma'am. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So tell me what your favorite thing is about being a real estate agent.
Helping people get to the closing table. There are so many stories when you meet these potential leads, and once they turn over to clients, um, there's with anything in life, it's a win-win when we go to the closing table. But to hear their journey, some of them had to overcome different types of adversity. For some, it's a little bit easier. Some had to just save up a little bit of money for closing costs. Some have actually had to rearrange their whole credit profile,
Mm,
and sometimes those ones that have come from adversity. I kind of lean a little bit towards those. I've had a lot of challenges in my life just to get here. I come from a retail background, so just being able to share my story and my personal journey, we kind of just mesh together, and it's really become a intimate moment, not just a business transaction. And it works the same way with those whose journey hasn't been that hard of a struggle. I always try to make sure that I maintain a great relationship with them because I'm not just with you serving a general agency for this transaction. I want to be a relationship agent to where I can not only help them, but in the future purchases, help their friends, family, and even their neighborhood.
I love that. So, Noel and I have had quite a few conversations about the golden rule and how we still
Hmm.
believe in the golden rule, and we try
Yes,
to run our
indeed.
business that way because we just think it makes a difference. And you even just what you just told me, you are living by that golden rule, and that is feeding your business quite well.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So, and you're always a positive person. I don't think I've heard anything negative out of your mouth since we've met. But is there anything about this real estate industry that, man, you're like, oh, I just wish I didn't have to deal with that?
Um, Me being a young agent, it kind of dealing, trying to submit offers and working with a couple veteran agents. Sometimes I may say things, I may word them incorrectly when I'm trying to ask questions. And I've had different scenarios where I've had agents who just downright ugly. I don't know if it was, for instance, I'll tell you like this on the MLS where we have agent notes. I'll give you a perfect example. I was going to show a home, but there was nothing in the agent's notes. So I was thinking, well, maybe let me just double check to make sure because there could be something that they left out or it could have not actually uploaded because we all know technology isn't perfect just like we are. So I just asked them a question, I said, hey, Mr. Agent, just is there anything I noticed you didn't write anything in the agent's notes? Was there anything I missed just to make sure before we go upon the showing? And I always reply back. We actually use showing time. So everything is automated. We just select the date on the calendar and that agent can approve or deny that showing. So once they approve the showing, I'm quick to respond and say, hey, thank you for giving us the opportunity to show the property. Um, the agent wrote back and was like just very ugly saying, if there was something that I needed to put in the agent's notes, I would have put them in there. It was like just a big old long paragraph. I'm like, there's no sense in this. I'm just asking to double check because communication is key in our business.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So you were trying to be what you believe is respectful
hmm
of another professional, and they kind of bit your head off.
oh yeah, yeah. And like I said, maybe it's just I caught them at a bad day, but still though, they should have enough decency and enough self-respect for themselves to say, hey, look, there's a better way for them to kind of reword the paragraph, but this didn't work out that way. So
Yeah.
as far as like I said, I'm still being a young agent. I know I still have multiple, rivers to cross, but so far that's been the only thing. I do feel like. Well, I'll tell you another thing too. I do feel like it's kind of like a brokerage war on social media sometimes. I don't understand that. Me being with Keller Williams, I do have friends who are agents with other brokerages, but it seems like between other big franchise corporate style brokerages, it's like there's always a massive competition. I'm like, guys, we at the end of the day, we are realtors. We belong to the National Association of Realtors. We're a family and a whole. We may compete by submitting in offers, but after that, I feel like we need to draw the line in the sand because it's gotten so bad in my market where some brokerages, when you see the agents out and you try to say hello, it's like they don't even want to talk to you just because you're with a different brokers, and I don't understand that. We're human beings at the same time. It's not about the brokerage; it's the individual agent and the type of relationship that they can bring to a buyer or to a seller or just to a individual who wants to know more about housing. Housing, it's a big, it's one of the most biggest purchases you're going to make in your life. But
Mhm.
I really don't get into that, what I call a brokerage war. Because I mean, we're all humans and no matter what brokers we represent, guys, we're still a family at the end of the day. That's the way I look at it. Just like I look at you, just as family. We come from different brokerages, but we're still family. We go through the same struggles, the same similar scenarios, depending upon your market, though.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with all of that. And I learned that rule back in high school on athletic teams. Our coaches used to say, listen, you're wearing your high school name on your shirt. Now act proper.
Act
And you
proper.
just,
That's right.
yeah, you never know who you're going to run into on a day to day
Very
basis.
true.
And if you're acting like a fool, come on, knock it off. Act like a normal person. You never know who's going to be in front of you and who's watching you.
That's
And
right.
I actually had, okay, I have to steal this for a minute. I was
Go ahead. Go ahead.
running an open house, and the
Mhm.
house wasn't so great. But I was running an open house and I wanted to sell the stinking house, right?
Mhm.
So people would come in and I would ask them, what do you think about this? Do you think this living room will fit your furniture? How does it feel? Could you cook in the kitchen? And I was asking, trying to get them to like the house because I wanted a sale,
Mhm.
right? I was hungry, I was new.
Yeah.
And this one couple was so impressed. They were actually out at open houses that day shopping for a real estate agent to list their house. And
Hmm.
the open house they went to before mine, they said the realtor was very mean about the house and said some
Mm.
really nasty things about it. And then they came to mine and I was positive and I was trying to make the house look great and they were so impressed with that. And I had no idea they were shopping for a listing agent, but I listed their house and sold it just because
Awesome.
I was representing the house. So easy. So you just never
That's
know who
right.
you're going to run into. So you just always, wait, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm still
I don't
here.
know
Can
what
you
just
see?
happened.
I can still see
I,
you, and
okay, hold on. What? Okay,
yeah, I can see
we're
myself,
still
and I can
going.
see you. Yeah, we're
Okay,
still going. It keeps.
this is weird. Okay, something is in the air. Okay, so anyway, we've proven our point right there. So we're going to move on
Mhm.
to the next one. Maybe that was our cue to move on. Okay, so I feel like 2.5 years, yeah, you're still new. You haven't been through every scenario,
Mhm.
but you've been through a lot. So and one of the things I always tell my new agents is you just don't even know what you don't know
Oh
because you're
yeah, that's
so
true.
new, right? So have you
Mhm.
ever been in a situation where you did something and then after you did it, you thought, oh no, I should have done that different. Has that happened to you?
Yes. Really explaining agency agreement. Sometimes I I follow the rules and everything, but I kind of reworded a little bit because they were having some issues understanding it, and at the time it may have been like my second or third listing appointment, but it wasn't. I didn't do anything unethical. I was just trying to really break it down in layman's terms, and for some reason it just really bugged me. Like I was like, I hope I said that right because I didn't want to, miss sound like I was misrepresenting someone. And I was so nervous on the way home. I'm like, I think I should just turn around and really make myself just go over it the way we normally go over it because oftentimes we use real estate lingo. I try not to use it sometimes with first time home buyer or with anyone because you definitely want to make it as easy as possible transitioning because it is real estate language is a totally different language and if it's something you don't hear on a daily basis but um, thankfully I just once again I just called and said hey look guys I just want to make sure that you all completely understand the type of agency agreement that we're going in it was a single agency I was actually going through a seller's agency with them to help them list their house but
Okay.
I just really wanted to double check. But like I said, it was either my second or third. This is my second or third transaction altogether. So, well, I do have coaches and everything, but it was on a Saturday, and roughly, I was like, well, let me just try to do this on my own. I didn't want to. I just wanted to have respect for my coaches and things, because they have a life as well. But thankfully, they said they completely understood. But other than that, I'm strictly by the book. I like to do things by the book. I don't want to, have any mishaps because at the same time, going back to the golden rule, we have to have a code of ethics in our life as well. So having an ethics when we actually working with buyers or sellers because as you know, there are some agents out there who just don't care. They definitely want to push, or they want you to see it their way, and that's the only way. So I try
Yep.
to, but I mean, if there's certain situations, we have to say, hey, look, especially when it comes to pricing. I have had a situation like that where I've had to actually be stern and say, look, guys, I know I'm here to advise you, but the numbers don't lie. These are the comps in the area. This is what houses are selling for. If you're okay with that house being stagnant and being market weary, we can go ahead and list it this way. But me personally, you guys need to get out of here. That's what you're asking me to help you do. So look, guys, this is the right price. And, but like I said,
Yeah.
all in all, just trying to be a respectable person. I mean, it's life. You're dealing with different personalities. I mean, thankfully, I haven't had to digress from that, not yet. But all
Well, yeah, it's nice to be able to sleep at night. So
hmm
if you just have to be honest with people because it always comes out in the end. The truth
hmm
always comes out.
oh yeah,
And then you have to like figure out how to make up for your lie, and that
hmm
costs a lot of money, not even just for yourself but your clients. And
oh yeah,
yeah, that's not a good way to build a successful long lasting business if you're not being honest up front. Like, you have to be prepared to lose a deal because
yeah,
you're being honest, and it's just the way it is.
agreed.
I know sometimes when you're struggling to get a deal done, and if you tell the real truth, you might lose the deal, but you have to be okay with that. You just have
Yeah,
to do it, because otherwise you just
hmm
get caught in the end. Ugh.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So, well, we've kind of been talking about this a lot, but how successful do you actually think you can be if you just follow the golden rule?
Well, I think the sky's the limit. Um, it's once again, me being like you were saying, I have good days and bad days. I'm not perfect, but I try to take every bad thought, every negative scenario, and try to turn it into a positive, because there's a lesson, or I look at it where I need to reevaluate myself and say, hey, look, Noel, you're better than this. Um, Turn that frown upside down. But as far as the limits of potential, I think it goes back to, I'm big on writing vision boards. I know some people just write goals down. I actually have vision boards, and I believe that if I continue to keep my eyes on those things, and it's not like the fancy cars or the big homes, it's more or less starting with personal goals for me, being health conscious, and just really trying to put a smile on everybody else's face. That's my biggest thing. At least my main priority every day is to make at least one person smile, whether
Uh,
I'm out in the public or at the office. If I can open a door for someone or help them in any way, because I come from a retail background now. I've heard plenty of horror stories about what goes on behind their closed doors. So, um, living the golden rule, if I can just do that one day, I've accomplished everything. But I do believe that just by being an outstanding person, doing right and not doing wrong, I believe the potential is endless. And I mean, look at yourself. I mean, you have great personality. You're very warm and giving. Since we've met on Instagram,
yeah.
and I mean, you have to, and I say this because you can go back to where you started and look where you are now. You didn't have to be cutthroat. You didn't have to say, well, if you want to rise to the top, you got to step on toes. This is not crabs in a bucket. So you're a prime example, and you're just continuing to go up from that. Just as we discussed, you were doing your AI certification. That could have fell in anyone's hand, but you were one of the first people to do that. Okay, somewhere along the line, the good you've done had been recognized. So it's kind of like the karma. You have good karma, it continues to bless, like blessings upon blessings on you. So that's my biggest thing right now, is just being able to touch people's lives, and whether they're my clients or whether they're just somebody I bump into, me being able to help them and to teach them in real estate to because a lot of agents don't want to. A lot of agents don't want to sit down and talk with them unless you're under some type of client representation. But people have questions right now.
Yeah.
With all the news and media, people are kind of like, oh, I really need a place to stay, but I don't want to pay the interest rates. We have to educate the people, because if we don't educate them, then they're going to continue to rent and make their landlord rich. So,
Yep.
but as far as my personal goals, I believe that, and I know I'm going to accomplish. It's not I believe, but it's also a certainty, a faith of it to say, hey, look, I know I'm going to accomplish everything, anything and everything. And, eventually I'll be doing the same thing you're doing, having my own podcast and things like that. So,
Absolutely. I
mhm.
mean, it's interesting. I think you sell yourself short because you have so much to offer. I mean, just one, because we already know you are going to take care of your clients till the end
Mhm.
and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
And I can feel it and see it and hear it. You truly want to help your clients own a home and create wealth because you
Oh, yeah,
understand what
yeah.
it does for people.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I came where I live at. We have one red light. When I graduated high school in 2002, the median income was $13,000 for a family of four. Let's fast forward to 2023. The median income is 27,000 and some change. So it has doubled between 2002 to 2023.
Okay.
I live in a renter's market. I
Mm-hmm.
live in a renter's market, and my biggest goal, and I'm so thankful that I'm still here, because I can I'm able to plant the seeds in people's minds, because so many people have these questions. Well, how do I do this? How do I do it? You would not believe the people I encountered. They didn't understand what home warranties were. They didn't understand what seller's concessions were. And a lot of them didn't even understand how effective USDA is really big right now.
Oh yeah.
We actually, almost every home that we have in my community that is actually for sale will qualify for USDA. So right now, educating and providing not just a service as a business transaction, but being able to provide a service as a teacher, that is my niche right now. And I'm continually building upon that, because I have people who are trying to get themselves together financially, get their credit worthiness up. So it's a it's a process that I'm happy to be involved with. There's an old saying over here that says it's better to make a slow nickel than a fast dime,
Mm.
because a fast dime, it'll go and come real quick. But generally, with a slow nickel, there's another nickel trailing it. So I say that to say this: while I'm helping someone else, somebody is telling them about me, and it just continues on. And I bring them to the group, and I continue to teach them, continue to educate them. So eventually, when the time comes, it'll be closing after close. They'll just be consistent closing. So right now, I'm just continuing to build my status with them. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
I love that. That's definitely how you build a long-term business that grows as
Hmm.
you grow, and it'll never stop because if you just take care of people and truly care that they get what they want,
Oh yeah.
people don't forget that and they tell other
Oh
people
yeah, that's
about it.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
then you're
true.
not
'Cause
pounding the phone for hours every day. It just keeps
yes,
coming because when
keeps
you put
coming. Yeah,
it
because
out, go ahead.
that's right. Oh, I was just gonna, just adding to that. I mean, that's one thing that I say when people ask me, so, well, Noel, how are you different? Because most of them have heard the story, especially when they interview agents. They know we can market on Facebook. They know we can market on Instagram. They know we have TikTok. They're like, oh, we scoped all your social media status. They know that you can advertise in the MLS and do open houses, but I get asked what makes you different, and I
Oh,
tell them the what makes me different is the relationships that we're going to have. Because first of all, I'm here to advise you. I'm here to lead you through negotiations, but the main priority is I'm here to serve you guys, because I have to serve by listening. I need to know what your options are. I need to know how fast you need to get out of a home or how fast you need to get in a home. I can't just go in and say, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to charge you this, and we're going to close in this. It doesn't work like that. I have to serve, so therefore I have to listen. I have to use these ears and I have to shut my mouth. So once that is, well, I mean, honestly, that's, as the old saying goes, that's why you have one mouth and two ears, so you can hear twice as much and talk a third less. So, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the main thing. I tell them that's the relationship. Like, I'm here to serve. And Jen, I'm really, I tell them, I say, when it comes to negotiating, I'm right there on the front lines with you. I'm not in the business of helping buyers find a home. I tell them I'm in the business of helping buyers finding a house. I said, because home is what you bring into it. That's one big difference between
Ooh.
me and other agents when I talk about if I'm going to a buyer's consultation. I said, look, guys, we're going to look at shells. The thing is, you have to picture yourself there because when we go to the closing table, when you start bringing everything in, it could be your favorite blankie or it could be the smell of a particular food you like. Then it becomes home. Then everything is now you have a home. But right now we're looking at shells or just houses. They're like, oh, we're going to look at a home today. I'm like, no, we're going to look at a house because home is what the value. Home is that equity that comes from love that you actually bring in the house. So, no, I mean, and that's what I say because that is the type of relationship I want them to have with me, and I said that is what makes me different because we're not looking at it from a perspective of, oh, it's home already. We can go visit three or four houses and one thing may feel off and we're like, no, let's write this off, let's go to the next one. But once we're there, when whether it's a single person or a married couple, when everybody can agree to say, hey, look, this is the one, I'm like, okay, now envision yourself, envision everything that you have, if it's placed here, if it's placed there. And I tell them, just close your eyes and open them back up and tell me how you feel. Because if it still have that same euphoric feeling, then this is the one. This is the one you're going to call home. But if not, we need to move on. So, because my biggest thing, I don't care what the price is. I don't care about the commission. It's getting you to the closing table and making sure that you're happy. That is what matters most. Seeing the smiles on people's faces. And
That's
I'm like dancing in the rain once that happens.
I know that's what it's all about.
It is.
You don't have to be pushy. They either like it or they don't. It's so interesting.
Mhm.
Like when they find the one, it's like
Yeah.
fireworks and magic. It's
Oh
so
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Everyone starts bouncing a little and they want to hang
Mhm.
out and it's the best moment when that happens and
Yes,
you
it is.
know that you did a good job and you treated people right and proper and they're going to go off and have an amazing life because they found the house that they can make a home.
That's right. Make a
Best.
home. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, well, Noel, I don't know where the time went, but that's all we can talk about today. We have to move on. But
Okay.
you and I are definitely going to have to get together again. You and I have so much to talk about, to share, and help other agents have success in their own way and make their business their own.
Mhm.
So I hope you will agree to come back and chat with me again.
Of
Just say
course. Yeah.
yes.
That's a given.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a given.
All right.
We're
Well,
gonna make this a series.
yay. Okay. Yes. We need to come up with a series, and we're doing that. I love it. Okay. Well, with that, Noel, thank you so much again. It means so much to me that you're a part of the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate. And we'll see everybody soon.
Well, thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.